From the beginning of time, reaching out to the sublime in a cold and hostile world. We have struggled to exist in this earthly wilderness, seeking an elusive goal. Many times it seems that we are fighting a hopeless cause, implying extinction is our lot. Because we were constantly ravaged by scourges and wars. We tried to quarrel and complain, but in the ending up, believe it or not, we will survive. No matter what the odds, man will survive. Inspired by our gods. It's a hard road we travel, but with triumph we shall. We will toil, we will struggle, cause at the end of it all, whether you're big or small, Peter helping Paul, till the master call, we fight for survival. Oh, yeah. In pursuit of happiness, searching for material bliss, we have toiled unceasingly, giving off our very best. In this never-ending quest, we have sought increasingly. Disappointed by our friends and betrayed by conjugal mates, surrounded by crime of every sort. Cruel never ends, and for us is a test of faith, emphasized by condemnation, penalized with retribution, but we will survive. Don't care what people say, I'm telling you, man will survive to see yet a brighter day. There's a mountain we're climbing, some will rise, some will fall. They'll be slipping and sliding, cause at the back of it all, metaphysical, deep and spiritual, till the master call, we fight for survival. Whoa. Modern day societies, melting pot communities, there are several rules and laws, where the poor become subservient to the rich and affluent, or they show their fangs and claws. Divided by creed and race, it ain't easy to be free. No one knows for sure if we really can ever find an equal place and live as one family. Sometimes it's hard to find solution, but nothing conquers the will of man. We will survive, though times may be rough. Man will survive. We know how to be tough. So let nothing divide we. All for one, one for all. Feel the power and the glory, cause at the back of it all. Though we whine and ball, broken down dance hall, till the master call, we fight for survival. Whoa! Ba-da-ba-da-da-da-da. Hey, 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 yeah. Ba-da-ba-da-da. Do-do-do-do-do-da. Do-do-ba-ba-da-da. Hi-ya. Hi-ya. Fight for survival. Coming through the dark ages, looked upon as savages, haunted by unrighteousness. Time and place and circumstance, and some people's ignorance, we have to face all kind of prejudice. Subjected to slavery, bound by economic chains, quick to hold but slow to develop. Daunted by redundancy, plagued by emotional pains, still for all we wouldn't stop. Cry surrender or give it up, no. We will survive as we have throughout the years. And we'll survive through pain, sorrow and tears, to ensure our existence, to walk proud, to stand tall, yet to humble in his presence, cause at the back of it all. Though we whine and ball, breaking down dance hall, till the master call, we fight for some to find solution, but nothing conquers the will of man. We will survive. Though times may be rough, man will survive. We know how to be tough. So let nothing divide we. All for one, one for all. Feel the power and the glory, cause at the back of it all. Though we whine and ball, broken down dance hall, till the master call, we fight for survival. Whoa! Ba-da-ba-da-da-da-da. Hey, 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 yeah. Ba-da-ba-da-da. Do-do-do-do-do-da. Do-do-ba-ba-da-da. Hi-ya. Hi-ya. Fight for survival. Coming through the dark ages, looked upon as savages, haunted by unrighteousness. Time and place and circumstance, and some people's ignorance, we have to face all kind of prejudice. Subjected to slavery, bound by economic chains, quick to hold but slow to develop. Daunted by redundancy, plagued by emotional pains, still for all we wouldn't stop. Cry surrender or give it up, no. We will survive as we have throughout the years. And we'll survive through pain, sorrow and tears, to ensure our existence, to walk proud, to stand tall, yet to humble in his presence, cause at the back of it all. Though So we whine and ball, breaking down dance hall, till the master call.
We fight for survival.
Francisco. And that's the number 7. The mighty Sparrow. Survival. Yeah!
The mighty Sparrow, Slinger Francisco, born in Grenada, raised in Trinidad. Perhaps the greatest stage performer across musical genres, the greatest stage performer of his time. I don't think anyone can parallel Sparrow. We've had some great blues singers, rhythm and blues, reggae singers. Bob Marley is up there. But Slinger Francisco is the best, expressing the West Indian character. Man Will Survive, that was his last competition song. Last time he appeared in the Mardi Gras competition in Trinidad, way back in the 1990s. Way back in the 1990s. Came out of retirement in 1992 and won the crown, and then came back in 1993. Good evening and welcome to Politics 101. We're waiting on Sharma Sullivan, who is expected to join us this evening. And wherever you're joining us from, whether it's in Guyana or outside of Guyana, welcome to Politics 101. We've been having some news-filled days. Never a dull day. Never a dull day in Guyana. Good evening to all of you. Please share the live and please share the link. I want to say a special good evening to the young people in the audience. We're discovering generally our audiences over the years have been on an average between ages 18 and 34. On the average, about 25% of our audience is in that age group. But over the last 3 weeks, we have seen as many as much as 50% of our audience, 18 to 34. Last night we had GHK Lalon, and 48% of our audience was between 18 and 34. So we are seeing some things, and I have been saying here on this program for a long time that based on my interaction with young people, I got the sense that they're listening to us. Just from the anecdotal, wherever I go, in my own village, outside of my village, young people come up to me and identify that they know me from social media and politics. And so I got the sense that we are speaking to more young people than we think. And I have begun to pay much attention to the numbers. And welcome. All I can say is welcome to young people. And this is the place to be, because there are those who do not want you to be part of this conversation. And it's important that you be part of this conversation. I understand the young people may not be commenting, but they're there. They're there. They're there. They're there. Like I said, we're paying attention to the numbers, and we're seeing that change. You, the older people, keep coming back. Keep coming back to this program. Keep coming back to the programs that are on, because we're all fighting the same fight. We're all fighting the same fight. Sometimes the debate is heavy. Sometimes we don't always agree with each other. Sometimes we don't always agree with each other. We are waiting on Sharma, and we're waiting on Sharma. I always try to tell my guests tune in a little bit early, just in case you have some technical problems.
Peter helping Paul till the master call.
We fight for survival.
Oh, yeah. Oh, in pursuit of happiness, searching for material bliss, we have toiled unceasingly, giving off our very best. In this never-ending quest, we have sought increasingly. Disappointed by our friends and betrayed by conjugal mates, surrounded by crime of every sort. Growing till never ends, and for us is a test of faith, emphasized by condemnation, penalized with retribution, but we will survive. Don't care what people say, I'm telling you, man will survive to see yet a brighter day. There's a mountain we're climbing, some will rise, some will fall. They'll be slipping and sliding, cause at the back of it all, metaphysical, deep and spiritual, till the master call, we fight for survival. Whoa, yeah. Modern day societies, melting pot communities, there are several rules and laws where the poor become subservient to the rich and affluent, or they show their fangs and claws. Divided by creed and race, it ain't easy to be free. No one knows for sure if we really can never find an equal place and live as one family. Sometimes it's hard to find solution, but nothing conquers the will of man. We will survive. Though times may be rough, man will survive. We know how to be tough, so let nothing divide we. All for one, one for all. Feel the power and the glory, cause at the back of it all. Though we whine and ball, broken down dance hall, till the master call, we fight for survival. Whoa, yeah. Ba-da-ba-da-da-da-da. Hey, 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 yeah. Ba-da-ba-da-da. Coming through the dark ages, looked upon as savages, haunted by unrighteousness. Time and place and circumstance, and some people's ignorance, we have to face all kind of prejudice. Subjected to slavery, bound by economic chains, quick to hold but slow to develop. Daunted by redundancy, plagued by emotional pains, still for all we wouldn't stop. Cry surrender or give it up, no. We will survive as we have throughout the years.
And will survive as we have done. We are waiting on Sharma Solomon. He's having some technical difficulties, but he's going to join us. He's going to join us. So we continue. We continue to follow the saga that is going on. And as I said, some of us are on one side or the other. But as we have been saying on this program, the feud between those two men is not a feud between two individuals. It's a feud between two powerhouses. And it's playing itself out in the state. And as I said, it's no accident that it's two Indian men, two powerful Indian men, two economically powerful Indian men. One has the power of the state, and the other has the power of money. And it's playing itself out in the public. Now it's gone to accusations of murder, accusation of illicit wealth. Who has more land? Who has more money? How they got the money? And now it's shifted to who murder who. I tell you, I said last night, I was there when we confronted the early post-colonial government of Mr. Forbes Burnham. And our fight then was against the militarization of the state. The fact that the military represented the power of the state. And we know the military was predominantly African. And the PPP came to power. And they cut down the institutional power of the military. The military is still populated by African people, but they removed the fulcrum of power from the military and they placed it in the economic elite and the Indian economic elite. And so those of you who are believing that this is an ordinary fight, it's not an ordinary fight. This is a fight within the state for the power of the state and the power of economic resources. I have been receiving so much information in the last week or so. The amount of land that is owned by the Indian economic elite in this country, the amount of land, you all will be sick when it all comes out. And it will come out. I know some of you all are, grateful that it's coming out. And you all already are crowning kings. Some of you don't understand the seriousness of what you are dealing with. It had to come out. It had to come out. You see, when a government, people in power, when they bite off too much, they will choke. If the Americans did not go after one of the elites, we would not be getting this information today. And we will not be understanding how much our country has been divided up and shared up. When we talk about the dispossession of Africans or the dispossession of Amerindians, some of you may not have taken us seriously. You all probably thought we were joking. Wealth is not infinite, And so every time one group gets more wealth, it means other groups get little wealth. Tonight we wanted to talk with Sharma about land. The amount of land that has been distributed to rich people in this country, and they're not black and Amerindian. The rich people that the land have been land down the Borbis River, down the Demerara River. The highway is just as J.H.K. Lal said, it's not even the tip of the iceberg. It's not even the tip of the iceberg. It's not a shadow of the tip of the iceberg. The PPP has decided to use the state to make a particular group wealthy. And if you own wealth, then you control the country. Never again, the PPP has vowed, never again will the black elite get their hands on power. I've pointed out to you all on this program. Some of you all may dismiss me. The president is Indian. The vice president is Indian. The attorney general is Indian. The president has the power of the state. He's the head of the army. He's the head of the government. He's the head of the state. The vice president is the de facto powerhouse. He is the minister in every ministry. The attorney general writes and creates the laws. Indian. They're all Indian. The Prime Minister is a ceremonial office. The Prime Minister doesn't have power. Prime Minister has power delegated to him by the President. The Prime Minister only becomes powerful if the President dies suddenly in office. But other than that, the Prime Minister is more ceremonial. And that Prime Ministership is all held by a black man, but a black man who's loyal to the Indian elite. The head of the army is Indian. The Chief Justice, PPP has wriggled their way. The Chief Justice is Indian. The opposition leader is Indian. The head of GCOM may not be Indian, but the person who holds that office is loyal to the Indian elite. Are going down. And you all may think it doesn't mean anything. Burnham knew that it meant something. All the power houses, the areas of power that matter, are in Indian hands. The Private Sector Commission, control, headed by Indian. Are going down the line. The Guyana Cricket Board, headed by Indian. The big businesses that produce the essentials, Indian. Sisters and brothers, we are in a bad place as a country. And it didn't happen by accident, you know. This did not happen by accident. It is deliberate. The centers of African power, bauxite, broke up, and then they bring back now from foreigners. So we are right back to Alcan, colonial times. And when you destroyed the bauxite industry, you destroyed the economic power of Africans in an important tongue. You reduce them to scrunting. And when people are scrunting, they're easy picks. Brother Takuma said here the other day, they targeted Linden. And the first thing they did was to destroy the bauxite industry. Some of the best paid workers in Guyana were bauxite workers. Some of the most militant people in Guyana. I tell you all about the bauxite strikes in the 1960s against Alcan, Demba. In 1976, workers were locked up, and the women went into the police station in Linden and free their men. 1976. You also, up to 2012, what Linden people did when they tried to take away the electricity. And they killed Lindeners in 2012. And that was the end of Linden militancy. We saw little spurts of it the other day, but nothing like what it used to be. They killed the Public Service Union. They killed the TUC. All the black unions, they destroyed. The last one standing was the Teachers Union, and they destroyed the Teachers Union last year. The centers of black power in Guyana have been killed deliberately and systematically. The lowest paid workers are public servants. The minimum wage is $104,000. Sugar workers are subsidized. 30 billion in this last budget. Not by accident. Nobody's subsidizing bauxite workers or subsidizing public servants. Bauxite workers are subsidized. And every time GAWU want more money for bauxite workers, they go on strike or threaten to go on strike, and the next day the government settle with them. I've been reliably informed. The union will tell, because they're all the same, GAWU and the PPP, look, we need some money, but you can't give it a raise just like that. Let us go on strike, play as though we mill, and then you come in and settle with us. That's the game that they've been playing with us. And so the sugar workers, the working class, the Indian working class, they're suffering like the black working class and the Amerindian working class. But they have ways of getting more of the trickle down, because their union and the government is one and the same. Black people are jumping up with $100,000, $100,000 cash grant. They forget that sugar workers got $250,000 cash grant. They get in the 100, the little small piece like the rest of you all. But they got $250,000 a couple of years ago. The rice farmers get a special cash grant. The fishermen and fisherwomen get a special cash grant. The Minister of Finance, the money man, is Indian. The head of parliament is Indian. The speaker. The deputy speaker is Indian. The leader of government business, meaning the person who runs the parliament, is not African or Amerindian. The people have Indianized the state. They have Indianized the economy. In a way that previous governments have not done. Burnham militarized the state, but he didn't Africanize the state. Nobody didn't catch Burnham with 150 acres. lunch while he was head of state? I remember people used to laugh, PNC ministers, when they lost power in 1992. Some of them were driving old cars, broke down cars, and people used to laugh them. I am not saying that the PPP, the PNC government, they were angels. No, they did some wrong things. They abused power in some ways. But the abuse of power that we have seen under the PPP is incomparable. And the reason it's incomparable, it is because the PPP seeks total domination. Total domination. Paul Stowe pointed out to us here a year ago or so that you have 10 commanders, 6 of them are Indians in an institution that is predominantly black. The commanders, 6 of them, the majority, 6 out of 10 are Indians. This is not an attack on Indian people. It's not an attack on Indian people, because the average Indian person doesn't have that kind of institutional power. So this is not an attack on Indian people. Rather, it's a demonstration of if you are not Indian, how compromised you are, how disempowered you are. As I said, I've gotten so many calls about land. I'm sorry Sharma is not here, but tomorrow night I'm going to make sure he comes in early and we sort out the technical problem. I always tell my guests, come on a little 15 minutes before so we can sort out the problem. But he's going to be on tomorrow night. He's having difficulties tonight. And we're going to continue. On Thursday night, Director of Finance is going to be here. A Amérindian woman. The power of the state. The state has the power to make citizens do things that they would not normally do. When you come up to a traffic light and the light turned red and it says stop, it's not the machine telling you stop. It's the state that is telling you stop. And if the state is ethnicized, racialized, then it's a race that is telling you stop there. It's a race that is telling you stop. It is not a united state that represents all races that's telling you stop. It's a single race that's telling you stop, because the power of the state, that is the political power of the state, in Indian hands. The economic power of the state in Indian hands. The military power of the state in Indian hands, because they're part of the leadership. They make up the leadership. So when the state tells you to do something, it is not the state that is grounded in a multi-ethnic nation. It is a state that is grounded in part of the nation. When the policeman is beating in the heads of young black men, it's not the individual policeman, it's the state. Because when that policeman is finished beating black men and killing black men, More often than not, he gets off because the Indian controllers of the state arrange for him to get off. They're not pulling the trigger. And you may say, well, it's black people, it's black and black violence. It's not black and black violence. Those who are killed are the black sufferers. Those who are doing the killing, they are representative of the powerful state. The state gets us to do things that we would not normally do. They're going to pass the bill. They're going to make it into law to give unlimited benefits to ex-presidents. We now see what the present president owns. We will be shocked to hear what another ex-president owns. And what that bill is doing, it is subsidizing those ex-presidents. That is how they're subsidizing the sugar workers. When that bill passes, they will be mining, as we just said, they mine them, president. Mine them. They will not have to pay taxes. Mr. Ali would not have to pay taxes on that mega ranch. It's how it is, mine them. Not only are they accumulating the wealth, but the state does not have the power to ensure that they pay taxes. The state mining them. So the accumulation of wealth is because of their proximity to the state. I'm not accusing anybody of thieving, because I don't know whether the president thief. I would assume that he ain't go and duck yarn in something and take out money, but he's the president. Before that, he was a minister. Minister of housing, minister of this, minister of that. When he walks into a bank, the chances of him getting a loan is 1,000,000 times more than me. The chances of him getting a loan at reasonable interest rate is 1,000,000 times better than me. So even if he's not thieving the money, he's having unfair access to money. When he walks in the bank, he doesn't have to say, give me a loan. They will run heels over here to give him a loan because he's powerful. So if Mr. Ali says, well, I take out a loan, that won't solve the problem. That won't solve that. They say you thing. You get a loan unfairly compared with other citizens. It is your proximity to the state that gives you access to resources. Acre per acre, whether it's 150 acre, 125 acre, 1,000 acre, wherever it is, I don't know. Them number, I make me stomach sick. Unfair access. Why do you think the president can't come out and say XYZ so much me get from loan, so much me this, here is the people. Can't. To do that is to implicate the state. And he's not going to implicate the state. He's not going to implicate the state. And I want you all black people and Amerindian people, if you all are listening to this program, do not trivialize when I say that almost 90%, if not more, of the holders of consequential offices in the state are Indian. You all don't trivialize it. One can be Indian and represent the nation. So it is not the fact that these people are Indian. It is that they're part of an Indian cabal. It's the cabal, not individual Indian. Not individual Indian. It's when you add up the Indian chief of staff at the army, the Indian head of the parliament, the Indian president, the Indian vice president, the Indian opposition leader. When you add all of that up, is the collective power of the Indian cabal. So I'm not interested in the Indians as individuals. Some of them may deserve the position that they have. But wherever the PPP has gotten an opportunity to choose, more often than not, they've chosen India. Let me tell you all a story. Years ago, they were suggesting the opposition leader had to, I think it was on the height, had to nominate people to be head of GCOM. And he gave Jagan a list that included Africans, and the only Indian was Do Not Singh. Do Not was not a PPP man. Do Not was more aligned to the WPA. He was a PPP man. He was kind of anti-PPP. And so Oit suggested Do Not, who was not a PPP man, and the rest were Africans. And you know who Jagan chose? Do Not Sing. He chose an Indian that was anti-PPP. A president ain't gonna choose somebody who he think is going hostile to his party. He chose the only Indian. Do Not went on to serve the PPP. The Shafi towards the end of his life. But he served the PPP. This is a man who was against the PPP. If I'm not mistaken, he might have been proposed by the WPA. I think the same thing with Steve Surjbali. That is why they're so angry at Steve to this day. They chose Steve as the only Indian. Steve was also not PPP, but they chose he. And Steve turned out to be balanced. And that is why they're so angry at him. But when given a chance, I'm telling you all, brothers and sisters, and you all black people are always into this thing, it's not about race. The damn thing is about race. And you all are the only people in the world where people are beating you all up because of your race and say it's not about race. It's something in slavery that do to weird. A man pick up a cutlass and say, I'm going to chop you. And you say, no, man, you're not going to chop me. And the racists don't walk so. They don't walk like that. You listen to Azadin. Azadin don't use the word African Guyanese or black Guyanese. He said Guyanese. He doesn't. And the people who are supporting him openly, maybe Indians are supporting, but then come up on the road behind you. The people who are openly supporting him, who give him the most votes, are African Guyanese. And that man has never called you all by your name. Never. Azadin is part of the Indian cabal. Did Azadin turn up at Moko? When they put the woman in mud and trample upon shit and broke down Moko, them people take away the house to give rich Indian people? Did Azadin come out? No. I am not saying that we must not recognize the role that Azadin is playing right now and to give him credit for it. But we have to understand that he's not helping us out of love. There ain't no love there. Survival. And sometimes survival is important. I rather got Azadin where he is than with the PPP. I rather have Azadin where he is than with the PPP. So don't get it twisted. Sometimes some of you are very quick to get things twisted. I rather Azadin where he is than with the PPP. But he's part of the Indian cabal. The PPP just think that they were invincible. That some or the other, the plan was, when they lose Azadin foot, the white boys them going to pick Azadin and carry away. But the thing I work out so. So Azadin, they're wrong longer than they thought he with their wrong. And the man just bringing their story out. They calculate that the man with a gun gone, the white boys, they would have carried him away. And if the white boy didn't carry away, he wanted the wrong to talk about the farm. He wanted the wrong to talk about the other things that he get in the hand. And if he didn't talk about the farm, they would not talk about the murder and alleged this and alleged murder, alleged kidnapping. Unintended consequences. This is not time for praise anybody. Because Ali and the PPP going to set things that is going to be in all your favor. And you all will have to. You all going to then love up Ali? This is not time to love up anybody. This is time to recognize where our country is. Those of you who are familiar with the United States of America, the justices who played the major role in ending legal segregation, Justice Warren, Earl Warren, was a KKK man. He was a KKK man, Justice Warren. The man that gave the verdict on Brown versus Board of Education 1954. A KKK man. The contradictions in the state. The president who signed the Voting Rights Act and the Civil Rights Act wasn't Kennedy. Was Johnson from Texas, what I call a redneck in America. He called Dr. King a nigger preacher. But he's the man that signed the Civil Rights and Voting Rights Act. Black people, you all know your all history and get yourselves together. Get yourselves together. And stop that rattle. Pa, 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 pa. You all sometimes talk too much. Sometimes it's time to throw back and watch the ride. The resolution of this feud within the state, between Azuddin and the PPP, could give us an opening. Give us an opening towards normalizing this country. Or it could take us worse. But we gotta let the thing play out. Black people, sometimes you don't know, shut out your mouth. This quarrel is not about Ayu. This quarrel is about who controls Ayu. It's not about Ayu. It's about who control Ayu. And sometimes I not see, I not clean your eye. Azuddin is the best opposition leader. He may be the best opposition leader. I don't know by what standard you all are judging. If you all are judging by his ability to bring out the secret of the PPP, well, then he's the best. But this is not about whether somebody is the best opposition leader or not the best opposition leader. As I say, I rather Azuddin on the outside of the PPP than inside the PPP. But you all got to understand what's going on here. Just as how Azuddin know that it's 150 acre, all he get, and you know who else get, they know how much acre he get to. Because all of them, the acreing. All of them acreing. And some of you all can't even get a little piece of house lot. The acreing wasn't one side acreing. I'm waiting for them with this accusation. You see, Mohammed, I see today somebody sent me something. The man fighting the case before the arrest. The man fighting the case. The man saying the car wasn't me car. The man get the thing and say the car dealer said this. The man fighting the case before he get arrested. He get time with you. He get time for fight for you. The man fighting the case. The man don't lie her up. I'm waiting for them if they put their hand on me. The public domain. He are fighting for we. He fighting for we. And he gets every right to fight for himself. Has every right. If I've been in any position, I'd be fighting for myself too. If they want to frame the man, The man got to defend himself, but you all don't get it twisted. Believe fighting for you. You're fighting for you all, and I'm not saying that's a crime. The man has a right to fight for himself. Because you get a powerful state like the PPP, they're going to try to do everything. And so the man has to fight for himself. But some of the other, you all cock this, and the man fighting for you. A black man. Crocodile say you look for that sometimes. The man is fighting for himself. Because the man knows how devious and dangerous this state you hear this called, this wicked PPP, and he know them. So the man don't start fighting case before they lay hand on it. Let the man defend himself. But you all, some of the other getting up in your all feelings about the man defending are you. Can't tell me that you. Can't tell me that you. Let the man defend himself. And then the PPP people are going to say, let Ali and the rest of them defend themselves against you. And let them defend. Now is your chance to rock back. Like rock back judge. And watch the ride. It's not for you all getting all kind of feelings. Yeah, black people. Not all, some. Screw your ears. Shake you up. I hope it doesn't happen. Because I want the state to be skinned up more. You got three actors here. You got the PPP, government and party. You got the Americans who charge Azudin and Idadi, and you get Azudin. Ayonde in the, you all not in the picture. Those are the three actors. You all not in the picture. Don't forget in the corner. Black people. The three actors are the white man there. The Indian party and the state. And the Indian whistleblower. Are you stay and in the corner? Push out your mouth and neck inside. Not about you all. And those three actors could make a deal. In fact, I would say I'm 50% certain that they will make a deal. And Azudin not stupid. Azudin will not make a deal that will leave him with shit in his hands. Azudin will make a deal that will ensure that he's free. And in order to make that deal, he will have to give up something. I'm 50% certain that is likely to happen. It's not about you all. You all not at the table. Likely that they're going to make a deal. You haven't seen Azudin still get our phone number? You text them. You send them. If you only do some blackmail you. And our friend crying. That is blackmail. I sound like Mark Benshop now. Don't blackmail me. this has security implications. As you didn't get he crying. But he get the power of the state, you gonna make Asidin cry tomorrow. And Asidin gonna make he cry the next day. And they will make Matty cry till they decide, all right. I bigger for settle this thing. This is what happens. This is what happens when you create the kind of regime that they have created in Guyana. Nagamuti they left, and Ramjatan, but then Bayan had big land and big quarry and big this, I'm saying that to say that there's a difference between feud. The feud between Ramjatan and the PPP or Nagamut and the PPP did not include accumulation of wealth. Ramjatan and them didn't accumulate wealth. Nagamutu and them didn't accumulate economic wealth. The quarrel with the PPP was politics. Nagamutu and Ramjatan said, remember Papa Chedi? Me mama PPP, me daddy a PPP. But Jack Dio want to take your eyes and pass them by and they left. Little boy take your eyes past Moses and Ramjatan. So they left. So the quarrel there wasn't the same as the quarrel now. In fact, people like Nagamutu and Ramkaran and Ramjatan, the people wanted them out of the way quick. Remember when Ramkaran opened his mouth and talk about corruption? They say, what? And by Ramkaran, all thing we go home, he get done, he couldn't talk. When they're done with it, when they're done with Baizi Ramkaran's son, Baizi Ramkaran was Jagan right-hand man. And when Baizi Ramkaran some open me mouth and say corruption, you see, the corruption is the means, is the door to the accumulation. So when Ralph talk about corruption, they say, Ralph, you have to go. You got to move out to the rear, Ralph. That's what they do, Ralph Ramkaran. That's what they do, Nagamutu. That's what they do, Ramjatan. And so a small section of the Indian sugar workers came with Nagamutu and Ramjatan into the AFC. And what did Jack Dio and the PPP do? He said, they say, are you gang go join black man? PPP is an Indian party. Are you left for an Indian party? Jack Dio said, the PPP is an Indian party. You think he said so by accident? This is a Kuli party. To quote him? You think he said so by accident? Are you left? Are you Kuli party? Are you Indian party? I go vote for black man? Are you go vote for Burnham? Are you vote for Granger? Them army and police are going to come kick at your door down. When you say to an Indian, a black man, especially a black man, we're going to come for kick you, that on the Indian mind? Them Indians stay a couple morning and they run back. They play the race, they play on the racial sentiments. It's not accident that Jack Joe said this is an Indian party. It is not an accident that he invoked the military gonna come and rape a human, and I don't know if you say rape, but they go kick down at your door, whatever they say. This was deliberate. They know what they were doing. It is no accident that when they're ready for the no confidence vote, they go to the very Indians who went with the AFC. They went to Charandas and them. They didn't go to Amna Ali because she didn't there so then. She comes so when the last power. But at that time, they won't go to she's was PNC Dayar then. They go to the crossover. The fickle Indian. The Indian who, when you tell that Indian, you go with black man, you walk on them. That wanna walk on Amna that time. You can't go to Amna and tell Amna a black man. No, not Amna. So they pick the target and overthrow the black government. Overthrow the black government. You all black people just fall for sweet talk. And you all just fall for too much of sweet talk. And you all just get things twisted. And part of the reason is we as leaders and analysts don't suss the thing and break the thing down for you all. So I'm not blaming you all, Cargage and fully, because we leaders, we black leaders are a large part of the black problem. They won't tell you all why I'm telling you all here tonight and break it down for you all to see it clear. They went to Charandas. And then they sent Charandas an Indian. He cussed the Indian woman. And they bring him back and they don't mind. They ain't mind. They ain't mind. Charandas know they must be there with Mohammed. And they must cry. They send me a video with a conversation with Charandas and Azuddin. All of them, Charandas, Azuddin, the PPP, all of them, a family, political family. But I rather get Azuddin now than Charandas. Charandas, they're all over. At least Azuddin giving me. He giving me the thing. He's not giving me the thing because he for black power. Giving me the thing because is the thing shall set you free. Not we free, he free. You know, love is a human element. It's a human element. It's a human quality. And black people like to love. When you say love you, brother, you're not talking about romantic. There's a difference between the human element, the human manifestation of love, and the romantic manifestation of love. And you all gotta make that distinction. Love thy neighbor as you love thyself. Love whoever is directly or indirectly helping your cause. But like, which is a romantic kind of love, is a different story. In many regards, the Christian slave loved the slave master as a human being. But he hated the slave master as an enslaved person. I'm taking you all deep here tonight, you know. The black enslaved person hated the slave master when he looked around and see the enslaved condition that he in. But Christianity taught him to love thy neighbor. So who was his neighbor? His neighbor was the slave master. He loved him Christianly. And we have brought that into the present, you know. We have brought that into the present. There's a kind of love that we show for people who we perceive to be on our side. Black people, you know, it's called the gratefulness factor. We are always very grateful to people from other races who are on our side or who we perceive to be on our side. And that's that's part of the humanity of black people. But sometimes we don't like those people for what they do to us. So you all continue to love Azudin because he's bringing out something that could help you all struggle. But don't mix up the Christian love with a like that is determined by where in proximity to others. You all don't get your story mixed up. When this quarrel between Azudin and the orphan and them are finished, the Indian wealth will remain intact. When this quarrel and feud is finished, unless you all get up and get, the Indian criminalized state will remain intact. At some time, this feud is going to close. I think it's going to close when they make a deal, but I may be wrong. That's why I say 50-50. Whenever it's finished, unless we remove the criminalized state, we will be just where we are. When this feud is over, the enormous wealth that has been accumulated by a few rich, mega rich Indian men and perhaps women will remain intact. Unless the state take action to dismantle that wealth and to share it up equitably. And put him a neck out. When this feud is over, Ali Farm will remain there. All the land that Ali said they give Azudin for quarrying and things will remain in Azudin hand. This exposure won't change anything overnight. You all don't get it twisted, my brothers and sisters. This exposure won't change a thing. They're not going to take away Ali land. Azudin land, sorry. They're not going to take it away. Because if they move to take away Azudin land, he get more things for bring out with them. And God, they go wonder. So then they take away Azudin wealth. They close down Cambio and so on. Chap make money. You can close down the Cambio till the cows come home. Them chap so rich. You close down Cambio. Close down Cambio not worth in Azudin. Them chap get money, wealth. Azudin, whether Azudin get locked up or he ain't get locked up, he wealth gonna be there. The Americans may move to confiscate some of the wealth and so on. I don't know that does work. But the man well gonna be intact. And when it's done, Ali Farm gonna be there. And we will have to pay to subsidize Ali Farm. This ain't changing nothing. Things are going to change when black people and Amerindian people lead the fight to change the state, to change the managers of the state. To change the managers of the state. Only then are we going to have change. So let me jump up and celebrate. Well done, Azudin. We have to, because Azudin giving we thing. But don't believe Azudin giving we thing will change anything. The parliament don't meet. Even for a part-time parliament like ours. The parliament don't meet. And they don't meet because of their quarrel with Azudin. So their quarrel with Azudin paralyze perhaps the most institution of the state, which is the lawmaking body. Are you better listen to me? Their feud caused them to paralyze the parliament. The truth, the whole truth, and nothing else but the truth. That's what you almost want. This is beyond paper shots, you know. At least paper shots at shots. Them 800 black boys that kill, they didn't have hand shots. Are you jump up with paper shots, paper shots, paper shots? Are you forget? Are your own son and grandson? How much 100 of them? Jack Dion said not so much 100. You quarrel with Nigel Hughes. Nigel Hughes said 1,300. He said not 1,306. Damn shameless. And that's what you want to jump up with paper shots. Paper shots must be the occasion to learn about them little black boy that they kill out. Them not shots, at least paper shots and a paper shots. Black man, are you get off this simplistic nonsense? Are you go to school? Are you go to school? Even if are you in a school in the academic thing, are you school in the school of sufferation? And the nonsense I heard coming out of some of your mouth on this Facebook and thing. Me say like, are you throwing all them school? Paper shots. Paper shots murder. I want to solve paper shots murder because I think if when they go to solve paper shots, you get to them 800 by what me I depend on you I must depend. But sometimes you forget. And you forget because you all live for the now and you all get the hype and some of them on the Facebook what you call influencers a leader you astray and you get simplistic and the people like when you get simplistic. I love you all still because are you black like me and poor like me and poverty is we legacy and then until we overturn the state. David, I insult black people. I insult black people? Me? Insult black people? I'm telling black people what they need to know. And how they need to move. Oh, they need to move. My man tell me, I have some emails from Indian people, Indian men. I'm keeping them. I will not share them because you can't expose people. I get some messages from Indian people, some of whom are disgusted by what's happening. Lil by WhatsApp me. He said that they get 3 acres. When I hear orphan want 50 acres, me want to give them back a 3 acres. Me say, why not give them back? Keep them. Sharma tomorrow night. Jaretta the next night. And somebody else the next night. Me take tonight. Me take tonight. And I hope I've said enough to give you all the big picture. You all don't get into that stupid quarrel about who right and who wrong, and Azudin this and Arfan this and so on. You all don't get into that, man. Oh, please. You all know better than that. Look beneath the surface. Look below the surface. Azudin got to get some protection, political protection. He need the other kind of protection. He needs some political protection. So that he can continue to skin up the real enemy. But some of you are gone beyond protection. And that's where you are losing me. You all know what I say? If they settle the story tomorrow, Azudin wealth will remain intact. Irfan wealth will remain intact. The PPP government will remain intact. And you keep some capital for your fight, because it's not until you all use what Azudin give you all for fight and to bring down this regime will things change. I hope you all are listening. It's in your interest to protect Azudin. It's in your interest to give him political cover. Because he got the guns pointed at the real thing, the state. But in order to protect himself, Azudin may have to lose you all for tomorrow. Me other professor colleague, she tell me thing. She come in office, she whisper, and then she said, David Hines, if I only hear this back, I will say I didn't know you. If tomorrow Azudin got keep himself free, and they tell you you got dash them black people under the bus, you got close down the Win party, he will do it. He will do it. He didn't promise you all he's not revolutionary, that he gonna go to jail. in order to keep you all struggling party alive. He's a damn fool if he if he decides to do that. And wherever else you say, but he ain't a fool. Lose your all foot. You know all this right now in first place. Is are you pushing at your foot? Yeah. You think when Asidin go for negotiate, you want them tell you, Asidin, you're a radical. Me is a radical? What have I ever done? Me take anybody on the street and march through Georgetown? No, me a radical. Asidin, you're a radical. Me ever go Regent Street and let people block up things on Regent Street? Me? I'm not radical. Asidin, you're a radical. Me go in front of G-Com and tell Gladys Singh she must go? I never did that. Asidin, you are a radical. Me? Did I go in the National Assembly and move a vote of no confidence against the government? No, I'm not radical. You lose your foot. Me up on a roll tonight. I get time with you. I get time with you. You think Asidin stupid? I think Asidin I'm gonna make himself a fool and say he radical. All that I did is to expose something and or for themselves so when me expose everybody don't know. So me really didn't expose nothing. Oh God, if this thing isn't so serious. I love you all. You all just get me vexed sometime. But family, come let me go. And we go away. Night a come, oh. Come let me go. And we go away. Night a come, oh. And we go away till tomorrow.